Welcome to The Explainer. So have you ever felt like you're just constantly running on empty? Like you're giving and giving but getting nowhere? Today we're breaking down exactly what happens when you finally stop wasting your emotional energy on things that drain you. We're going to talk about how you can reclaim that energy to live a deeply authentic life, and we'll walk through how to actually make this happen step by step.
But before we go any further, I want you to honestly ask yourself this question. Where does your patience actually go? I know, it sounds like such a simple question, right? But take a second, right now, just mentally inventory the people and situations in your life. Who or what is really, truly deserving of that energy?
Think of your patience like a battery on your phone. For so many of us, it's constantly flashing in the red. We're talking maybe 5% remaining and 95% completely drained. If that sounds a lot like your life right now, you are absolutely not alone. That sheer exhaustion you're feeling, it makes total sense, and it is entirely valid.
So let's look at part 1, the internal shift and changing priorities.
This internal shift, it's that conscious turning point where you suddenly realize, hey, my time and my emotional energy are not unlimited resources. They are incredibly precious. Now, when you actually start setting boundaries around this, people might push back. They might accuse you of arrogance or acting like you're on some sort of ego trip. But here's the thing. This isn't about being cold or arrogant at all. It is a vital act of self-preservation. You're just finally choosing to protect your own peace and well-being, instead of endlessly trying to manage how everybody else perceives you.
Moving on to part 2, redrawing the lines and setting boundaries.
This is where you get crystal clear on what you simply won't tolerate anymore. It's time to cut out the energy vampires. You know the ones. The constant cynicism that just poisons every single possibility, the excessive destructive criticism that's really only meant to tear you down, and of course, those endless, absolutely unreasonable demands on their time. We all know at least one person who fits this bill perfectly. And honestly, dealing with them is just exhausting. When you finally cut those vampires out, you hit this beautiful realization. The exhausting performance is officially over. Think about the sheer volume of energy we waste trying to please people who we know don't even like us, or offering this fake false warmth to folks who only give us coldness in return. Just imagine the immense relief of just stopping. You get to decide right here and now to invest your emotional energy only where it's actually valued.
Which brings us to part 3, rejecting the fake and seeking authenticity.
Seeking genuine authenticity requires you to establish what we'll call a zero-tolerance policy. What does that mean? It means an immediate, full stop to your patience the absolute second manipulation, lying, or bad faith enters the picture. It's a complete rejection of all things superficial. The pretense, the hypocrisy, the dishonesty, and especially that cheap, disingenuous flattery. You just decide, nope, I am no longer going to coexist with this, period.
In this quest for what's genuine, it really extends to how we handle information and intellect, too. The source provides this absolutely fantastic standard. Knowledge should be a bridge, not a weapon. I mean, we've all met that person, right? The one who uses what they know just to feel superior and make everyone else in the room feel small. Genuine people, on the other hand, use what they know to connect and to help, never to belittle.
Alongside rejecting the fake stuff, you also have to start muting the background noise. This is a very conscious, deeply empowering decision to pick peace over drama. You're actively stepping away from the gossip, the pointless conflicts that literally go nowhere, and that absolute trap, the endless game of comparing yourself to others. Just imagine for a second how quiet and peaceful your mind becomes when you finally shut that noise off.
That leads us perfectly into part 4, a stronger worldview and embracing complexity.
When you clear out all that negativity and noise, a much more mature mindset starts to take root. You basically move from being rigid to being flexible. You stop trying to deal with inflexible people who see everything in stark black and white, and instead you start to embrace a world of opposites. You begin to accept the nuance, the complexity, and the beautifully messy reality of everyday life. It's just a much more grounded, forgiving way of navigating the world.
But here is the catch. While your overall worldview becomes way more flexible, your standards for the people closest to you become completely non-negotiable. When it comes to true friendships, these are your absolute deal breakers. No trust, no loyalty, betrayal. There is zero negotiations here. If someone breaks that trust or betrays you, it is an immediate end of the story. No looking back.
So you might be wondering, who actually makes the cut? Well, the source gives us these brilliant, super simple steps for new social filters. Number 1, can they give a simple, genuine compliment or a bit of encouragement? Number 2, do they communicate without constantly exaggerating every little detail? And number 3, do they have basic empathy? A surprisingly great barometer for this is simply whether or not they like animals. I know, it sounds kind of funny, but these highly practical filters really do become your new guide for deciding who gets access to your time.
And finally, we arrive at part 5, the ultimate rule. Protect your peace.
All of this boundary setting, all these new filters, they synthesize into one massive core truth. Patience is a precious gift, and it absolutely must be earned. Your patience, your emotional energy, your time, these are no longer infinite free resources just meant to be handed out to anyone who asks. Owning this realization, it brings such a calm, peaceful certainty to your entire life.
So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with the exact same question we started with. But now, hopefully, you're looking at it from a totally transformed perspective. Who has truly earned your patience? Take a really long, hard look at your relationships today with these new filters in place. The answer to that question, it just might change everything for you. Thanks so much for diving into this with me, and remember, always protect your peace.